See, that's the worst that can happen if you're nervous around the fire. So we're not going to be nervous tonight. We're not going to be worried about it, and I'm not going to start stuttering or worrying about anything like that. I'm just going to say welcome to the Fireside Chat. It's a very special chat for us tonight. I'm going to tell you more about who we're talking to in a little bit, but it's someone I've known since she was about, what's the saying, yay to something. And we're going to learn more about what it's like growing up as a young child and later on as a teenager in the bush. Before I introduce you to tonight's guest, we're going to show you a little slideshow, if you want, just a few basic moments and memories through Zoe's life, and then we'll introduce you and have a bit of a talk to her. So Pete's going to show you a couple of those, and then the talk will continue. Enjoy, and welcome to Fireside Chat tonight. Bronwyn, can you see the screen where the pictures are going? Can you bit of a picture introduction there. As we traditionally we always shake hands around the fire, so I'm going to give you a formal handshake. I'll come around the fire with Wild Earth. It's lovely talking to you. And yeah, I feel a bit amazed. I must say, suddenly I'm looking at Zoe and thinking, wow, I've met her when she was about 5 years old, and here we're sitting talking around the fire. Zoe, what was it? What's it like to be here, first of all? Let's just hear your honest first impression. What's it like sitting here and saying hello to Wild Earth?
I'm incredibly nervous, but I'm excited. I'm still nervous though.
You're still nervous? You know what, I used to get very nervous. I don't get nervous anymore. But I've got a bit of an advantage. I've spent a few hours more than you doing this. But as I said earlier, and as everyone joining us tonight knows as well, it really is friends and our friends around the fire with us. And for them it's going to be interesting learning more about, a little bit about your life growing up in the bush, and maybe about your life where you're at now. And it's also our first opportunity to talk to and I mean this in a very respectful way, but talking to a young person. We always get excited when we have people on game drive, you know, grandmothers with their grandchildren watching, or mothers and daughters and sons and so on. So it's nice to talk to someone who's 13 in a week. Is that right?
10 days.
10 days, wow, a week and a few days. You got a party planned?
Yep.
Is there going to be a fire?
Probably not.
Probably not, so it's going to be a good party.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Zoe, well, we're going to ask you lots of questions still. As I said earlier, I don't really plan these. I actually wrote a card earlier today with a few questions. There's a lot of interesting events, as you can see from those pictures, that Zoe has gone through from growing up. I mean, at some stage you'll meet her parents as well more. You have met them already, but that alone was colourful enough, I think, growing up with your folks. But also all the different wildlife and all the different things you saw. But if you think back to growing up, and think back now as far as you can remember, in other words, as a young girl, what are some of the first things that come to mind? The first thing that comes into your mind now about growing up here?
My dog, a leopard taking my dog on
Which
our
one?
footstep. Our little Jack Russell Spot, and my dad was going crazy trying to find her, and she ended up in one of the trees in our lodge, little lodge hut things. Yeah, it was really sad.
It was actually. I was actually guiding at the time, and it was up in the Jackalberry at room 3 where Spot was spotted. Sorry, the next morning. Did you tell us a little bit about it? I mean, many people can obviously. I guess some people could imagine it, but it's a bit of a funny thing to tell someone, listen, my dog, and you've had various dogs that got lost to leopard. But tell us about Spot. I mean, how did you experience it from where you were that evening?
Well, it was a school night, and Becky was fast asleep, my sister, and my mom and I were awake, and there was a leopard circling around, actually like here, and the dogs, our friends' dogs were going crazy, so my dad went in to check what was going on, and our little Jack Russell followed him, and he didn't know that she followed him because she was so small, and we heard him screaming, but my mom told me it was a baboon, so we're like, okay, that's okay and stuff, and then my dad rushed up and said that he kicked the leopard because he took Spot, and he said he went like for a few hours to try to find her in the bush. In
this
his
was
car.
at night already, yeah?
Yeah.
Your dad
like
kicked it, I mean, politely with bare feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then, yeah, but it was too late because she was like dead already.
Unfortunately, yeah. So was that, I mean, if thinking back to it now, I mean, obviously there's a certain sort of trauma aspect attached to it, but I think maybe growing up in those conditions, one often gets used to a lot of different things. I mean, for many of us to imagine a leopard taking your dog while you're standing in front of a bedroom is literally impossible to imagine, but you know, those kind of things can happen. I mean, when did you see Spot? The next day? Did you see it up in the tree? Not?
No, I didn't want to go.
Good choice, maybe.
Yeah, too traumatic.
Come here. Speaking of Spot, let's tell the happy side of these stories as well.
Tony, come boy.
Come, Tony. You've been on here before. All right, we are going to show you Tony more. Tony is actually, I mean, sort of in remembering Spot. He's called Twin Spot.
Yep. That's because he's got 2 spots on his bum.
That helps, eh? We're going to get Tony. He has actually been here before. He slept in my lap the whole time. Everyone loved him. Zoe, and like I said, I wasn't planning much how we're going to talk tonight. There's some very funny and happy stories as well. But as we started with one of your obviously most imprinted memories, how many pets have you guys, or you as an individual, but also as your family, lost, and to what while you've been out here in the bush?
We've lost 3 dogs to leopards. On 2 different occasions. Our first 2 bull terriers were killed in our house.
In the lounge, eh?
Yeah, in our lounge, and one in the passageway to the kitchen, and Spot on our veranda, office veranda thing.
And then you lost one other one to, unfortunately, I have to say, Land Rover as well. Happens, eh?
Yep.
Land Rovers.
Which is obsessed with wheels, so.
It's a bit of a problem. Yeah. And then, remember you asked me earlier, what are you going to do if you get stuck and you don't know what to say?
Yeah.
I'm like that now.
And I'm like starting to calm down, and I'm okay now.
I see so. So, there we go. There's a few things happening. We had, and I'm going to jump back to just Wednesday night. Many of you that are joining us tonight for this chat would have been here around, oh, there's 2 dogs, would have been here around, Betsy. See, I love these dogs as well, unfortunately. I'm not quite as close to them as you are, but I've spent many happy hours with these dogs. We spoke the other night with Rex, and he showed us a couple of the ladies from the village we all know very well since a child. They came and they cooked some traditional food for us. What is your nickname? I believe me and you actually have the nickname at Bush Lodge.
Chichonzo. It means chicken feet.
And explain to us for those that didn't see the other night.
Well, it's kind of weird, but I really, really, really like chicken feet. They're really nice.
To play with or to eat?
No, to eat.
To eat, okay. You like them in all the different ways? Tony, come here. Come here. You like them in all the different ways, or do you prefer them the crunchy way or the crunchy way?
Like bride.
But how about the bit of chili and tomato? Personally, I like those quite a lot, yeah. And the Nets ones especially.
I've never tasted the Nets.
The Nets at Bush Lodge?
I've only eaten Anjos in Acorn Hook.
No, but at Bush Lodge, have you not had the chicken feet there? Not? Okay, we're gonna have to go tomorrow and ask Lynette to make you some chicken feet. I ate a lot of those. I even had many guests, and when you guys come and visit us, maybe we'll give you traditional chicken feet to taste. I had a variety of guests try them over time. Not that many, about 8 guests, of which about 2 liked it. The others didn't quite. When they get to the nail part, it sort of puts people off, I think.
I like that the best.
Do you still eat them?
Yeah.
And your friends, if you've got a friend visiting tonight, do you still eat them?
No, she's too scared to. She'll eat earthworms, but not chicken feet.